Hello everyone, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to card 1 of my Sketch Butterflies class, and thank you so much for purchasing and earning this class. I do appreciate your support. So even though this is a Sketch Butterfly bundle class, for this first card, we are not going to be using our dies. We are going super simple, and we are just using our stamps in conjunction with 4 out of our 5 new in colours. So we're using Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, Peach Pie and Summer Splash, along with some black Stays On ink. So the cardstock you will require is a standard black card base and a basic white card front. You'll also need various blocks to fit our stamps onto, and the embellishments I have used are the iridescent faceted gems, which I love, and I do need to order a new pack very soon because I'm going through them at a rate of knots. So let's get the stamps that we're going to be using on some blocks, because this is going to make our life so much easier. So as you can tell, I've definitely been using these stamps. They are starting to get a little stained, which shows my, oh, sorry about that, shows my love for my stamps. And this is a great card for mass producing because it really is just simple stamping. Okay, I'm just going to pop these on here. I know the block is too big, but it is the perfect width. And then I'm going to pop our birthday sentiment, but you could use any sentiment you wished out of this. So I've got a beautiful thanking of you. You brighten up so many of my days, and hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul. So I've got all my stamps done. I'm going to just pop those off to the side for the moment. Now, I am going to build my card from the bottom up, but I am actually thinking I may pop on this sentiment first. So I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper and grab my Stays On ink, because I do like to stamp off my sentiments, get the feel for it, condition my stamp. Sometimes our first stamping with Stays On is not always the best, but this is looking really, really good. So let's pray that we get this in the right spot. It looks good. It's not stamped as well as these, but totally passable. So we have done our sentiment. Now, if you did want it absolutely perfectly straight and something that you can reproduce, you could absolutely use a stamp positioner, and then you could make a whole slew of these cards. I'm having issues opening this, so I'm going to show you a tip with our bone folder. So I'm just going to slide my bone folder in here, and not all the way in. That is not what I wanted. I did want a twist. It's not quite what I wanted. I didn't really want to make my bone folder purple today, but that's fine. I'll show you with the next colour my trick that was not. But I suppose it did have the desired purpose. So we're going to start with, I'm having a dropsy day, with our second largest butterfly. So we're not using the largest on this. We're using the 4 smaller butterfly stamps. I did say I was having a dropsy day, and this is just the way things go sometimes. So just testing that on the scrap paper. Just going to nestle that in there. Perfect. So that is that one done. I am going to close each ink pad after I'm finished. Otherwise, I may just run out of room. So next, I'm going to take our Summer Splash, and we're just going to have our profile butterfly. It's not really a half butterfly. It is a profile butterfly. We stamp that off, and we're just going to have that as if it's coming into land right there. So that is that one done. So you can imagine I'm opening and closing ink pads and doing all of that, but if you were doing multiples, you could just go bam, 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 and that would look really fantastic. So Pretty in Pink is next. Now Pretty in Pink, you may go, that's a bit familiar. It's actually familiar for a reason. This is the Pretty in Pink that we had once upon a time, and I'll try that one again. It has been brought back with a second life. So loving that. That's perfect. And then I have room for my 4 butterflies, or 3, depending on how I angle them, at the top of our card. But yes, they have brought this back, which is great because it is a beautiful pink. And our final colour is Peach Pie. So sometimes I just like to keep everything nice and simple. Now, I do have a feeling with this one, I am going to be kind of stamping off the top here. So I just want this piece under. So just going to go right there. And that is the stamping for our card. So close this one up. That is all of our ink pads closed or almost closed and accounted for. You can tell they're new ink pads. They need a little bit more force to close them up. Okay, so our black card base, I have already pre-scored, and I do have the mountain side of the scoring to the middle, and that just helps really score this beautifully. Grab my pre-inked bone folder and give that a nice burnish along the edge. Now I will need a second piece. Hopefully I've got one just above me here, because it's a bit hard to write on the inside of a black card base. So I will need to add an insert, and I basically use exactly the same piece, and I may even stamp a butterfly or 2 on the inside. So if you wanted to elevate this a little, you could, once I get this straight, you could pop this card front piece on dimensionals, and that would look really, really nice. Let's see what we've got here with my basic white cardstock. Would you believe I don't have one, but we are very quickly going to cut one because we're going to need it anyway. Do you think I can grab one single piece of paper? That is always a very hard answer. My dear word, let's give it a bend. There we go. So pop these things back away. Lucky I do pretty much have everything at hand. So whenever I'm caught in this situation, I can just do a few very quick cuts and we're back in action. So the rest of this paper I will trim up later and have some card fronts at the ready, but we're not all perfect at the same time. So this still has some ink on it. I could ink it as is, or I could rehydrate the ink that is left on this by giving it a huff. Now, by giving it a huff, I really mean huff on it, and I can guarantee you, you can't huff without making a noise. So just gave it 2 huffs there, and you can see I just get that beautiful generation stamped off. And I've got my pretty in pink one that I will pop there. I do. Now, these I am going to pop along here, but the inside of a card we can definitely write over. So never worry that you can't write over what's stamped on the inside of the card. You can. Maybe don't write over the outside, but the inside you can. Right, now let's get this lined up here. And I love that just as is. I'm going to leave the Summer Splash one off. And we are just going to glue this on the inside, and that finishes off our card. So from that one stamping, I was able to stamp both the inside and the outside of the card. So economical use of our ink and our time. If I had this pre-cut, which I thought I did, but I did not, that would have been ideal. But by huffing on the stamp, we could rehydrate and still get a beautiful second generation stamping. So never worry. Or I could have re-inked it, stamped off, and then just done the inside like that. So to finish, I was about to not embellish a card. That is so very unlike me, a very rare occurrence. I do love my embellishments to finish a card. I use my Take Your Pick tool with the Crafter's Picks. So I've got this great hook, and all I do, besides the fact that one pinged off, which kind of now puts it in a precarious position for me popping this down. So you can pop them wherever you want. I am using 3. So just 2 here, and then 1. Of course, that doesn't want to play ball. And then, of course, just 1 there. So that finishes my card. So these are both of the cards that I have made. I don't think this one has an inside. It's naked. But this one we did stamp on the inside. So just remember, not all of our cards need to have stamps, dies, embellishments, all the bells and whistles. We can make it super simple with just some gorgeous coordinating colours. I have used the 2024 to 2026 in colours, and I just chose to use 4. I didn't use the Shy Shamrock. I took that out, but I did use those. And of course, a beautiful a beautiful stamp set. So the sketch, I love the sketchiness of these. So if you misstamp or anything happens with your card, it doesn't matter because it's already got sketch lines on it. And of course, a beautiful embellishment always finishes the card. So I look forward to seeing you in my next couple of card videos. Thank you again for your support, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.